I run a 55-person services business that I started about 7 years ago, and I'm the sole founder of the company. I'm in a position to where, so the way the business came about is, again, 7 years ago, I took a $10,000 bonus check, quit my job, threw it into a bank account, and my awesome wife bankrolled us to really start this business. And over the years, I've managed to get us to, again, 10 million top line. We're running at about, I'd say, 15% EBIT total. We've generated about $47 million in the past 7 years we've been in business. And so the challenge I have is 2023 kind of kicked me in the teeth, and it was good. I needed that because it helped uncover some deficits sort of in the company, but it also really just took the wind out of my sails, right? It put me in a position to where I was just down on myself and just generally in a bad mood. Luckily, I was able to pull through that with some mentors, but at the same time, it still sort of lingers. And 24 has been better, much, much better, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I don't know, I'm trying to get past it. And so as of right now...
What is it you're trying to get past?
Just the
lack of
feelings
confidence?
I think maybe that's it. Just getting kicked in the teeth and losing money for the first time and then walking into 24, which has gone pretty well. But where I'm at now is I have an offer on the table to buy the business. And so there's really two paths here that I can take, and I'd love your perspective on it. One path is I continue to try and build this business and sort of dig myself out of it. And the other is to take the offer, which is about 1x revenue, which for me is more money than I would ever need to live on for the rest of my life. But the challenge there is now I'm going back into industry, right? I now have a boss. I have people that I have to...
Oh, you're going to have to remain on the job.
Yeah. So it's a 4-year payout, right? So I'd have an earnout over 4 years. And the earnout's really nice, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm kind of going back into what I left to start.
Wait a minute. They're not giving you $10 million up front.
No, it would be 4 up front with EBIT payouts over the course of the remainder of the 4 years that I would be in those golden handcuffs.
That sounds like hell.
It does, to be completely frank. But, I mean, I grew up in a trailer in North Georgia, so,
I don't care. That doesn't mean you need to go to hell.
That's fair. So then the alternative then is just digging my heels in and trying to power through.
Alternatives, negotiate a better deal.
Okay. How
about 8 and I'll walk away?
Okay. I think that sounds interesting. So then...
What are you going to do with your life after you sell your company?
That's a great question. I've thought about that, and at this point, I don't really know. I can't stop, right? I've been a builder my whole life, so I left my previous job to build this business. So you
got $8 million in your pocket in my scenario, and you're free.
Right.
You walk away from the closing table. You go on a month-long cruise somewhere, and then you come back and go, okay, now what am I going to do? How old are you?
I am 42.
Yeah, you need something to do. And then I take my $8 million, I put some of it in investments, I give some of it, I enjoy some of it, and I set 2 or 3 or 4 aside to start the next thing. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to have a non-compete. You're not going to be able to go back into this industry.
Right.
That's not fair. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But the things you've learned in this industry, what could you do?
Probably be an independent consultant. I think rebuilding a business probably wouldn't work out, but certainly
Why?
Leaning into, I guess I could do a SaaS business or something else. So we're in software engineering, so pretty much I could do anything I wanted, right? I could go get a job at some random company just building software.
Yeah, I don't think that's you either. You didn't even like that when you said it, did you?
Not really.
Okay. Right.
And that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm fighting through. I think in my heart of hearts, I really do want to just keep going, right? But the challenge is there's a lot of opportunity on the other side, and I'm trying to weigh what are the pros and cons of taking the deal versus just continuing to build the business.
Okay.
And I don't know.
What you need to take off the table is there's no easy button.
Right, for sure.
Let's just choose which hard thing we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
a new hard thing or the old hard thing with the lessons we learned in 23. Because you now, once someone is stretched to the level you've stretched to, you cannot return to the same shape again. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can bring up the trailer in North Georgia if you want, but you're not that guy anymore.
Right.
You're no longer him. I'm no longer the little redneck kid from Antioch, Tennessee. I've run a $300 million business, and so my brain and my emotions and my spirit are now stretched to that size. And if I was doing something that was $15 or $20 million, I would feel completely bored out of my gourd. Mm-hmm. And so once you've stretched to that, you've stretched to that. And so unless you intentionally want to slow down or something, but that's different. But you're only 42. So, I mean, going fishing or golfing for the rest of your life is a long life. You don't want to do that.
For sure.
Okay, let's start back there then. Choose a hard thing, and the hard thing is which new thing I'm going to start, or I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to go, I got some scars here. That year sucked. I got a couple of those years in this business. I've been doing this 35. If I never saw another year like 2020, I'd be real happy. I hate 2020. I hate anything having to do with the year 2020. I've got PTSD from the year 2020, you know? So, now what am I going to do with that? Well, it doesn't mean I quit running Ramsey. It just means I take the stuff that was that much manure and I grow something with it, right? So I did learn a lot of positive lessons about me and about our organization during those wackadoodle times. And so now I know what we can do if wackadoodle shows up again. And also know what we can do when there's prosperity out there in the marketplace instead of weirdness and craziness. And so, all that. So, yeah, I mean, we all have those things. It's just a matter of choose your hard, Deloney says, right? Dr. John Deloney that works on our team. Choose which hard thing you're going to do. So I'm either going to sit down and say, all right, what is it that you did not, by the way, let me help you with this. You took some blows, you got kicked in the face, but you did not lose your confidence. You just realized now you're not invincible, and before you thought you were invincible. Yeah. People that lost their confidence don't carry themselves like you have on this call.
I think that's fair because, I mean, man, it was a bad year, but it was a good year because it uncovered all of the weaknesses, frankly, that I had as a leader. It's like I was a peacetime.
Yeah, and now you're not that guy anymore.
Right.
Ever again. Yeah. It's like I've done so many stupid things. My only goal is to not do the same stupid things. Because if you don't do the same stupid things, if you put enough stupid things in the rearview mirror, people start calling you wise. And that's kind of what you did. You just had a year of, you paid tuition to the School of Dadgum Leadership. I'm sorry. It's a hard year. But the things that you learned that year will take this to a $20 million business if you keep doing it. And you keep growing and keep learning and keep getting bigger and better and don't be the lid on the business and so on. So you're either going to stay and take those things and say, all right, yes, that hurt, but the pain of that year does not invalidate me, and it does not invalidate this business system and this business that I've grown, and it does not mean we can't take it to 20 million and then to 50 million. Because I actually think this is probably a $50 million business, just listening to you. And I don't even know that much about it. I can just feel it talking to you, okay? So I think you can go do that. But if you want to, if you don't want to, you can take 8 million and then take 3 of the 8 million and go start something new and take that to 50. But one of those two things is what you need to do. You don't need to go get a job. That's not you. Every time you said it, it sounded like you had a little throw up in your mouth.
For sure.
Okay. I mean, am I incorrect?
No, I think you are. And the wisdom it really resonates on both sides, right? Taking the money and going and doing something else, even to a degree, sounds like it might not be.
That's still a courageous act.
Right.
It's still an act of a stud that grew a $10 million company. That's not, I'm just going to go work for somebody. I'm just going to go hide. Dude, that's, you're just better than that.
And I'm afraid I would just get so bored, even
well,
if
you
I were
would.
to take that $2 million.
And you would look
right?
at them making dumber mistakes than you made in 23, going, why the crap am I working for that idiot? That's what's going to happen about 6 months in. Because you're working for some corporate goob who hasn't even got he doesn't even know, he can't find his butt from both hands, So
what experience...
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you. What experience have you had with sort of, again, so stock options on a sale like that? Because one of the things they put, and I'm sure you've seen this before, one of the things that they put in front of people when you're talking to PE or any sort of investment firm is, okay, so we're going to give you some amount of stock that in 5 years turns into $90 million. I understand that's funny money, right? It's not real unless I perform and the rest of the company performs. What's your opinion on that? How have you seen that work out?
It obviously can, and especially in the software world. But the only way it works out is if you want to work there in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you're that guy. I might be wrong. I've just talked to you for a few minutes. I've been wrong before, so maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think you're that guy. I think, while you're sitting there and waiting on this little bit of stock to go to 90 million, you're going to have a really hard 4 or 5 years emotionally. It sounds like. I don't know. If you think it's going to be fun to work with a new team and get in there and help them grow something, and that funny money's extra money, you got $8 million and then you got some funny money for the other $2 million or whatever, that's fine. But I'm not doing a 4-year payout and I'm trapped. That deal you got on the table, that's a walker. I'm walking on that one. No thanks. I'm definitely going to continue to run this business before I take the deal that's on your table. But you can keep messing with it and fine-tune the deal to where it starts to be fun. But here's your rule of thumb on this whole thing. There's not enough money to make you enjoy sitting neck deep in manure. That's the thing you got to remember. And so, because you can talk yourself into sitting in neck deep in manure if there's $90 million on there, but it won't be long before all you know is there's manure. You forgot about the 90 million. There's not enough money to do that. And so in any deal, money does not make a bad deal suddenly become fun, or a bunch of goofballs suddenly become awesome people. They're goofballs. They're goofballs that now you're having to hang around with to get your money. No. So only if the people and the process and the company culture and all those kinds of things are right do those deals work out. But you're not gonna be happy in a situation where you're having the deal where you just have to tolerate this to get my check. That's what golden handcuffs are. And nobody should sign up for golden handcuffs. They're one of the least fun things on the planet. Jay, I think you're a stud. I got a feeling you're going to take this company to 50 million. You might take 8 million and walk, though. Either one's okay with me. I'll still be your friend. But don't sit there and wait on them to pay you later. You're worth more than that.